You walk into a room and forget why. You reach for a word, but it stays just out of reach. You pause in a conversation, not because you've lost the thought, but because it wandered off quietly. These moments don't mean you're broken. They mean your brain, like the rest of your body, is shifting. After 60, many seniors begin to feel it, a soft fog, a slower pace in thoughts, a change in how memory, focus, and clarity show up. But here's what most people don't realize. The brain doesn't just fade with age, it responds to how we treat it, and it can heal, strengthen, and sharpen at any stage of life. In this video, we'll gently explore 5 subtle signs that your brain may be slowing down, and more importantly, what you can do today to bring it back to life. Not with stress, not with fear, but with small, wise steps, just like you've done all your life. Let's begin. Sign number 1, forgetting names, words, or recent conversations. It's one of the most common, yet most quietly alarming signs. You're in the middle of a sentence, and a word disappears. You see a familiar face, but their name won't come. You talk to someone in the morning, but by afternoon, you're unsure if it really happened. This kind of forgetfulness can feel frustrating, sometimes even frightening. But before you panic, know this: it's not always a sign of dementia. It's often a gentle signal that your brain is asking for more nourishment, more movement, more attention, especially after 60. Why this happens more often after 60. As we age, a few natural changes occur in the brain. The hippocampus, your memory center, begins to shrink slightly. Blood flow to the brain may decrease. Levels of neurotransmitters like acetylcholine and dopamine drop. Sleep may become lighter or more fragmented. The brain's ability to multitask or retrieve words slows down. This doesn't mean you're losing your mind. It means your brain is operating at a different pace and it needs new kinds of support. Think of it like an old radio. It still works beautifully, but it might need fine-tuning, quieter spaces, and more focused attention. Early warning clues to watch for. You forget names of people you see regularly. You struggle to find words mid-sentence. You repeat questions without realizing. You misplace items and forget where you just were. You walk into a room and can't recall why. These moments are normal in small amounts, but if they increase or begin interfering with daily life, it's time to respond, not with fear, but with gentle action. What you can do to support memory and recall. Feed your brain the right foods. Omega-3s from fatty fish, flax seeds, or walnuts, leafy greens, blueberries, turmeric, and dark chocolate. Stay hydrated. Even mild dehydration affects recall. Practice repetition and association. Repeat names out loud when you learn them. Make mental connections. Sally in the red sweater teaches yoga. Visualize the person or object you're trying to remember. Walk daily. Movement increases blood flow to the brain. It also helps consolidate memory and reduce stress hormones. Speak more, not less. Engage in daily conversations, even casual ones. Social interaction helps sharpen both memory and word recall. Rest deeply. Prioritize deep, uninterrupted sleep, 7 to 8 hours. This is when the brain cleanses itself, stores memory, and resets. Challenge your mind. Gently read books, learn a song lyric, try new hobbies, do a crossword, learn one new word a day, or journal your thoughts. Remember, you're not trying to reverse time. You're reminding your brain that it's still needed, still active, still growing. Forgetting a name or word doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're alive, you're human, you're shifting. But your brain, it still wants to work. It still wants to remember. It just needs your patience and your care. So next time you blank on a word, smile, take a breath, and take it as a nudge. Let's go for a walk. Let's drink some water. Let's talk to someone we love. Because memory isn't just a function, it's a relationship. And like all relationships, it grows stronger with gentle attention. Sign number 2, struggling to focus or multitask. You start a task, then remember something else. So you switch, then forget what you were doing in the first place. The laundry sits half loaded, the tea gets cold, the phone call never gets made. It's not laziness, it's not forgetfulness. It's the quiet signal of a mind that's overloaded, undernourished, and trying to do too much at once, without the same fuel it once had. After 60, one of the most common changes isn't memory loss. It's mental overload from trying to multitask like you used to. Why multitasking gets harder after 60. As we age, the brain processes information a bit more slowly, has reduced working memory, the space we use to juggle multiple things at once, becomes more sensitive to distraction, takes longer to switch between tasks. It's not failure, it's your brain asking, can we do one thing at a time now? Can we give full presence instead of divided attention? Real life signs you might be struggling with focus. You get distracted easily, even during simple chores. You start multiple things and finish none. You feel mentally scattered or drained. You reread the same sentence several times. Background noise or talking makes concentration difficult. These signs are not uncommon, but when ignored, they build up into frustration, fatigue, and self doubt. What you can do to improve focus, even without medication: create a quiet, single task environment. Turn off TV or background noise while reading or writing. Do one thing at a time, no more open tabs in the mind. Take breaks between tasks to reset the brain. Practice mindfulness or slow thinking, moments. Just 5 minutes of breathing or sitting quietly can restore clarity. Gentle awareness helps the mind stay anchored. Follow the one touch rule. Pick up one task, complete or set it down with intention. Avoid half finished actions unless truly necessary. Limit screen time and stimulus overload. Too many inputs weaken focus. Give your mind quiet time daily, like a walk without your phone. Move your body first, think second. Walking or stretching before focusing improves blood flow. Movement resets mental clarity and improves attention span. Use lists, but keep them simple. 3 tasks a day, max. Write them down and cross them off. This reduces stress on your working memory. In youth, the brain thrived on stimulation. Now it thrives on intentional stillness. If you find yourself forgetting what you were doing or unable to juggle tasks like before, that's not decline. That's wisdom calling you inward, to slow down, to focus gently, to give your thoughts room to breathe. Because the world may rush, but you get to move at the pace of meaning now. And in doing less, you may find you remember more. Sign number 3: trouble learning new things or following instructions. You sit down with a new phone, they've changed the layout again. You try a new remote, and all the buttons look the same. Someone gives you step by step instructions, and by the second step, your mind drifts. It's not that you can't learn, it's that your brain now asks to learn differently. And that's okay. After 60, many seniors notice it takes longer to pick up new technology, remember directions, or follow multi step instructions. This doesn't mean you're losing your intelligence. It means your brain is entering a more reflective, selective mode. It processes deeply, not quickly. Why learning feels different after 60. As you age, your brain prioritizes meaning over speed, filters out what feels irrelevant or overwhelming, may take longer to encode and store new information, needs more repetition and connection to retain something unfamiliar, is less comfortable with chaotic environments or fast paced teaching styles. It's not broken, it's wiser. It says, show me slowly, help me see why it matters. Let me practice it gently, then I'll remember. Common signs to watch for: you avoid new gadgets or apps because they feel too much. You struggle to follow spoken instructions unless they're written down. You get overwhelmed with new paperwork or forms. You hesitate when asked to try unfamiliar tasks or technology. You often say, wait, go back to that first step again. These aren't signs of failure, they're cues that your learning style has evolved. How to strengthen learning after 60. Learn in small, like focused chunks, break down steps into bite sized parts. Don't rush, spaced repetition helps memory stick. Write things down. Keep a notebook nearby for passwords, steps, or reminders. Writing helps encode information into long term memory. Ask for hands on help. Watching someone do it while you try it too is more effective than reading instructions. Use visual cues or diagrams. Seeing helps more than hearing alone. Sticky notes or simple flowcharts can be powerful tools. Don't be afraid to ask again. You're not a burden. Learning at your own pace is brave and wise. Connect the new to the familiar. When learning a new device or task, relate it to something you already know. This creates mental bridges your brain can travel with ease. At this age, you don't memorize facts just to know them. You seek connection, purpose, usefulness. And when learning is approached with patience, gentleness, and relevance, you'll be surprised by how much your brain can still absorb. So the next time you hesitate to try something new, remember, you've spent decades learning. Your mind has grown deep, not shallow. And all it asks now um, is that the world slow down and show you with care. You're still learning, just in a way that honors your season. Sign number 4: feeling emotionally flat or disconnected. There was a time when laughter came easier, a time when tears flowed more freely, whether from joy or sorrow. But now, everything feels muted. You smile, but don't feel the warmth. You hear news, but don't react as deeply. You go through the motions, but the heart feels far away. This emotional flatness is one of the quietest signs that the brain is shifting, and it's not talked about enough. The brain and emotion are deeply connected. After 60, it's not uncommon to feel less excitement, less sadness, less motivation, less interest in once loved activities, or even a sense of numbness or withdrawal. This doesn't mean you're depressed, though it can be a cousin to it. It means your brain's emotional centers, like the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, may be understimulated. And often this is directly tied to lack of movement, isolation, and mental underuse. Why emotional blunting happens with slowing brain activity. As we age, the brain produces less dopamine, pleasure, and motivation chemical, may have reduced sensitivity to serotonin and oxytocin, experiences fewer novelty signals, which keep emotions sharp, becomes more familiar with routine and less reactive to stimulation. When we stop walking, stop learning, stop engaging, the brain says, I guess I don't need to feel as much anymore, and begins to dim the emotional lights. You may notice you feel indifferent about things you used to enjoy. You don't cry easily, even when you want to. Holidays or family visits feel emotionally flat. You feel disconnected from people, nature, or even yourself. You struggle to describe what you're feeling at all. These are subtle but powerful signs that your emotional circuits need gentle reawakening. How to rekindle emotional engagement after 60. Move with feeling. Go for a walk in nature and intentionally notice beauty. Move your body in rhythm with music you once loved. Physical movement reignites emotional response centers in the brain. Create moments of meaning. Write letters to loved ones, even if not sent. Listen to songs tied to memories. Watch a movie that once moved you deeply. Connect with people through story. Share memories out loud. Ask deeper questions, even if the conversation is short. Let others into your emotional world, even just a little. Stimulate your senses. Light a candle, smell an old perfume, hold something meaningful. These simple acts can awaken long dormant feelings. Practice emotional expression. Journal one honest emotion a day. Cry if it comes. Laugh if it surprises you. Don't judge your response, just allow it. To feel again is not to return to who you were. It's to honor who you are now and allow space for emotion to rise gently. Your brain is still capable of wonder, of awe, of tenderness and tears. If it feels distant right now, don't be discouraged. Your feelings haven't left you. They're just resting, waiting for your invitation to come back. So take a walk, play a song, speak a memory, and let your heart remind your mind that you are still very much alive. Sign number 5, daytime sleepiness or mental fatigue. It's 11 a.m., and you already feel tired, not just physically, but mentally. You sit down to read the paper, and before the second article, your eyes grow heavy. You try to concentrate on a conversation and find your thoughts drifting like clouds. This isn't just sleepiness, it's the brain waving a white flag. It's asking for rest, or perhaps something deeper: renewal, stimulation, oxygen, motion. Daytime fatigue is one of the most underestimated signs of a slowing brain. And the good news, it's also one of the most reversible. Why the brain gets tired faster after 60. Several changes contribute: reduced blood flow to the brain, decline in mitochondrial energy within brain cells, irregular or poor quality sleep at night, less exposure to sunlight and movement, which help regulate brain chemicals, monotonous routines that dull cognitive engagement. The result? Your brain, once sharp in the mornings, now fades by mid morning. Your thoughts feel foggy. You might even nap unintentionally during the day. And while naps can help, constant mental fatigue is a signal that your brain needs more than sleep. It needs re engagement. How to recognize this type of fatigue? You feel sleepy shortly after waking, even after 7 to 8 hours of sleep. You find it hard to focus for more than 15 minutes at a time. You drift off during conversations, reading, or watching TV. You feel mentally sluggish, even if your body feels okay. Napping doesn't refresh you as much as it used to. This kind of fatigue can easily be mistaken for laziness or normal aging, but it's often the brain's cry for change. How to gently re energize the aging brain. Walk early, Walk daily morning walks, increase oxygen to the brain, reset your internal clock, and improve alertness. Even 10 minutes of gentle movement can reduce daytime drowsiness. Expose yourself to morning light. Open the curtains as soon as you wake up. Light helps regulate melatonin and serotonin, both tied to alertness and mood. Avoid sugary, heavy breakfasts. Opt for light brain boosting foods: eggs, oats, fruit, nuts. Too much sugar early can cause a crash later. Take purposeful breaks. Every hour, stand up, stretch, breathe deeply. Give your mind a chance to reset instead of pushing through. Stimulate your senses. Play gentle music. Try light puzzles or simple games. Even arranging flowers or folding laundry can bring gentle focus. Limit long naps. If you nap, keep it under 30 minutes. Long naps can disrupt nighttime sleep and worsen fatigue. The tiredness you feel may not be from doing too much, but from doing too little that truly lights your mind. Your brain is still alive with potential. It doesn't want to shut down. It wants to wake up again. So if the fog is rolled in, don't just rest. Rise gently. Step into the light. Give your mind a new rhythm, one that says, you're still needed. You're still growing. You still have light to shine. Because even a tired brain wants to think, feel, connect, and begin again. Forgetfulness, mental fatigue, emotional distance, slower learning, and fog that rolls in during your quietest moments. These signs may feel unsettling, but they are not the end. They are invitations. Soft reminders from your brain that it still wants to grow, that it still listens to how you live, how you move, how you nourish it, even now. Let's gently recall what we've learned. Forgetting names or recent conversations isn't failure. It's your memory asking for better rest and rhythm. Struggling to focus or multitask isn't decline. It's your brain inviting you to slow down and stay present. Trouble learning new things isn't age catching up. It's wisdom guiding you to more meaningful, patient learning. Feeling emotionally flat isn't detachment. It's your heart asking to feel again through movement, music, and connection. Daytime fatigue isn't laziness. It's your brain asking to be awakened, not just rested. You still have so much light. The later chapters of life hold space for reflection, for softness, for depth, but also for clarity and joy and renewal. Your brain is not shutting down, it's simply evolving. It's choosing what to hold on to, what truly matters. And if you nurture it, it will surprise you. If this video brought you peace or understanding, please tap the like button to support this gentle message. Leave a comment below. Which sign spoke to you most? Which sign spoke to you most personally? And don't forget to subscribe to True Senior Wisdom for more healing, thoughtful, and deeply human advice for your mind, your body, and your spirit. Every step you take, every breath you choose with intention, every time you treat your mind with care is a declaration: I'm still here, I still matter, and my mind still deserves love. Because no matter your age, your brain remembers how to bloom.